Have area real estate prices peaked for the year? Well, we're going to talk about that today. We're going to cover Eastside, Seattle, and Snohomish County in this real estate market update. I'm Tony Meier with Windermere Real Estate. For 34 years, I've been an avid study of the real estate market, and I'm going to distill down the information I see into actionable intel you can use to make a determination on your involvement in the marketplace. We're going to talk about the top 4 housing numbers you need to know. That includes rates, months of inventory, median sales price, and the sales price to original list price ratio. First up is interest rates. Well, compared to a year ago, we are up quite a bit. Was 5.3 last year. We're at 6.1 in July. And as I record this video in early August, we're sitting slightly over 7%. So rates aren't really moving in the right direction, and 7% is definitely a psychological barrier for a lot of buyers. Hopefully the feds are going to see the need that they don't have to keep moving rates up and slow that process down, and we'll see rates flatten out, if not decline going forward. So fingers crossed on that point. We're going to talk about the east side first, and we're going to talk about months of inventory. As a reminder, months of inventory is not how long it takes a home to sell a home. It's division of supply versus demand. And on my first question, have prices peaked? We've been consistently below the 9-year average each month this year, and at this point we are up on par and potentially in the future headed above that. We'll see, but we're sitting at 1.3 months of inventory, was 1.1, so the east side market is slowing down at this point. We do expect that to happen this time of year, but again, we've been sitting better for most of the year, so now we're even. That's an indication of a change in the marketplace. Median price. Well, this is good news of the story. We plateaued for April, May, and June on the east side at $1,450,000 and did see appreciation again in July, which is good news. And notably so, we're up from a year ago, which for most of this year we've been down compared to 2022, but we're up nicely 80 grand from 1 year ago. If you thought the market was going to get more affordable by waiting, you've been proven wrong, unfortunately, on the east side. Original list price to sales price ratios. Well, last year showed more negotiability. Sellers had to give up 4% to sell a home. On the east side right now, it's 1%. And for the most part, that's not on the average home that we're talking about in median price here. We're talking about that upper end $3, $4, $5 million houses. Those sellers have to be way more negotiable than the average $1 million, $1.5 million house on the east side at this point. Next up is Seattle. Seattle is cooler than the 9-year average, again, leading to the belief that maybe we've peaked out in prices, and it's maintained a flat pace at 1.3 months of inventory, 9-year average being 1.1. Prices are also down year over year and also trending down of recent. We peaked out in June at 930, from May at 905, and now at 899. So we may have seen the top of prices for Seattle. Original list price to sales price ratio, last year, this year, those homes are still selling at 100%, interesting enough. So it might have a lot to do with the affordability of that marketplace in general compared to the east side. Not a ton of that multi-million-dollar houses as we see on the east side. And you'll see that as we move into Snohomish County, similar to. Snohomish County is tighter than its 9-year average, being 1.1. It's sitting at 0.9 months of inventory. But it is an affordable marketplace in general on prices. We look at that, but that also translates to sensitivities on rate for the buyers who are buying in that marketplace more so than, say $1.5 million on the east side. Those 750 buyers, a quarter of a point in rate can cause a hurt for them, no doubt about it. So we are down prices year over year and on a downward trend for median price in Snohomish County in general. Original list price to sales price ratio, firmer than last year, was 97%. This year, it's 100%. So again, those homes are selling fairly close to that list price. So to kind of sum it up, what I'm seeing, so first thing I want you to understand about the marketplace is that we are anemically low on inventory. So we've been running anywhere between 35% to 40% of the normal inventory each month. So as a buyer, even though prices might be plateauing, it is traditional for prices to do that this time of year. Your choices are not going to be abundant, and those choices are only going to get worse as we move towards the holidays, which is our lowest points of inventory across the board. So if you've hoped to, stave off price appreciation, well, on the east side, it hasn't happened at all. In Seattle, and Snohomish County, it's a mixed bag. You might be a little bit ahead of the game, but with interest rates, you're certainly not necessarily ahead of the game. But your choices, bottom line, are not going to get much better. So if you're a buyer, it's best to get involved. If you have questions about our marketplace, please leave in the comments section down below. If you like what we have to say, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. That helps YouTube know that we're providing valuable content to you and gives us direction on what you want to hear. So that's it for now. We'll talk with you on our next monthly update in September. Take care.